Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Daniel Roney. I want to welcome you to the migraine and headaches, chronic headaches portion of this website. Prior to viewing this video, if you haven't already checked out the video on the welcome page, I'd advise you to do that. It will give you a really good understanding and background of how we treat chronic conditions, especially migraine headaches. In general for us, migraine headaches are fairly easy to treat. And what I mean by that is we don't just treat them for the short-term gain. We really try to correct the problem. Medications, I understand, are allowing you to function, and many of you are taking your migraine medication to do that. So the pain doesn't get too bad. You can actually go about your day. And believe me, I'm a realist. I fully understand that. The reality is, though, once those medications are done or you're not taking them, the problem is still there. So we're actually going to take a much different approach, okay? So migraines in general, here it goes, have 3 to 4 main reasons or causes as to the research shows why they happen. Number 1, cervicogenic. So the upper cervical spine becomes misaligned for many different reasons: trauma, poor biomechanics, poor posture, etc., what have you. And those misalignments cause pressure on nerves and arteries that lie under your skull and go up to the front of your head. And that pressure will be a major precipitating factor to migraine headaches. Number 2, there's food sensitivities. Things that you're eating, the protein source mainly of things that you're eating, gluten, soy, dairy are the main contributors. There are others, but essentially those whole proteins leak into the bloodstream. Very complicated biochemistry there that I'm not going to get into, but just understand that whole proteins leak into the bloodstream. They then are attacked because those whole proteins are not recognized as self, and the byproduct of that attack is large amounts of inflammation, histamine, etc. Key contributors to headaches and migraines especially. The third well-known cause has to do with fluctuating hormone levels. And migraines are predominantly women, but men get them also. And we know that surges in estrogen and dopamine and serotonin and things like that are key contributors. So understanding that cause is very critical to treating and correcting migraines. The fourth is something called an overfiring mesencephalon. On the brain-based therapy page, you can click on and find more about this. But essentially what happens is, due to inappropriate or abnormal input to certain areas of the brain, other areas of the brain have to work overtime. And the upper brainstem, or the mesencephalon, is one of those areas that works overtime and creates a myriad of different signs and symptoms, migraines being one of them. So, in short, understanding those 4 causes is really the key. The bigger key, though, is then what to do about once you find and examine issues in those 4 areas, whether it's the cervical spine, food sensitivities, hormone fluctuations, and or high-firing mesencephalon. In this office, we're familiar with every single one of those diagnoses or tests to be able to diagnose, and the treatments. And actually, I sit here and tell you and look straight into the camera here and will tell you it's fairly easy to control migraines. Matter of fact, it's one of the easier things that we do in this clinic is control migraine headaches and even correct them with a lot of people. Now, we may not be able to totally correct them, but I can guarantee we can dramatically reduce them, the frequency, timing, and intensity of them for sure. Goal, off the medications 100%. Reality, for most people, dramatically reduce the amount of medications you take. Again, we have to address the causes. We have to first understand the causes, which we do. The research is very clear on those, and then address each one of those causes. And at the end of the day, if we can correct the causes, right, over here, then we can correct the problem. And it's really that simple. So I don't want to stimulate you with information. I just want to give you a good understanding that migraine headaches are fairly easy to treat by just knowing what we're doing and what you're supposed to do. Again, unfortunately, most of the time the remedy is a medication, and again, a pill will never correct the causes that I just mentioned. It just won't. It can't and it won't. There's too many things involved. And but at the same time, I do understand that you need to function. Our goal is just to correct the causes and get you off of those. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. You can read more about migraine headaches on this page. And if you have any questions or concerns, or you would like more information on migraine headaches, give us a call at 714-241-9355, or to find out if you are a candidate to qualify for our migraine headache program. You can call us for that too. Okay, either way, I wish you the best. You have a resource here that can help you tremendously, and hopefully you take advantage of that. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.